Just relax, no one's watching.
The point isn't it isn't whether anybody's watching.
It's kind of nice, two old friends having a dance together, Mrs. Cranston. Kind of like your sister's wedding, huh?
That was a long time ago.
I think your father thought we were shameless the way we upstaged the bride and groom.
Well, Kelly might be getting married again to Nick.
Make a good couple. Eden, do you think about it?
I think it's bound to be that way sometimes.
I've been dreaming about what it'd be like to hold you again. Even when I'm alone, I can feel the place where your waist would be. Or your shoulder, how it fits under my arm at night.
Cruz, this is very dangerous.
Baby, I miss you.
I'm sorry I hurt you.
Would it do any harm if we just put that behind us for a while?
I don't know.
Do you want me to let you go?
I don't want you to talk anymore.
Well, I was to forget about this. It's all here. No one could have found anything. No one ever will.
All right, Johnny, now you stay away from this stuff. This is for grown-ups. Okay, pretty though, huh? Hey, look!
Well, what are you doing up there? I don't want you following me. Get down.
Did you see Mrs. Cordell?
Do you mind if I turn this thing off here? I'm not really in the mood.
Oh, good news, huh?
Yeah, I saw her.
Yeah.
How would she know? How would she be expected to know?
Who the doctor is? Well, she's worked at the hospital a long time. She would know who the obstetrician is, or she could
Look,
look up
I went
something.
all through that with her, Amy.
Did you tell her that the only records that are missing are for the day that you were born?
Now, come on, babe. How could I tell her that without her knowing that we broke in?
Right. Well, there must be someone else we can ask.
No, I tried. All right? Nobody knows. Nobody cares.
Okay, calm
she knows
down.
something about me.
All right. Why don't you try calling your mother again? She might remember the doctor's name.
Look, I don't know. All right? Look, she only stopped this town for a few days. She probably only saw the doctor the one time.
Are you afraid to ask her?
All right, what am I going to say to her? The reason for saying I want to know who delivered me.
Well, I don't know, but you'll think of something. Now, I need your help moving this little step ladder here. You're big and strong on this little itty-bitty thing here. Yeah, right into my trap.
Honey, I'm not really...
You have a headache?
Look, you don't understand.
Don't do this.
I just don't know. I don't even know who I am.
Yes, you do. A slip of paper, another man's name is not going to tell you that you're my husband and you're Johnny's father.
Not even that.
Oh, come on, don't let this overshadow everything, okay? It's Christmas, and I love you, and I want us to be happy, and I want a kiss.
I'm pretty lucky to have you, too.
Yeah.
Last year, it wasn't much of a Christmas for me. Hey. I love you.
Gina, I saw you in the pink dress. I know you did it.
Learning this stuff isn't enough. Somebody still knows. They'll take Brandon away from me and send me to...
Thank you. I suppose you're meeting someone here.
No, I just wanted to get out. I didn't think you'd be here. Or maybe I did, I don't know.
They told me you were off of my father's case.
Yeah,
Why?
I'm the wrong man to ask.
DA's never done that to you before. Why?
I got him your confession, didn't I? Your statement.
So it did have to do with me.
No, with me.
I would rather you get the headlines and the press than anyone else. I just don't want you to be the one to arrest me.
You're not going to be arrested. You didn't do it.
How do you know that?
Why are we talking about this?
Because I don't want you to have to hide things. I don't want you lying for me. The man I loved would never do something like that.
The man you loved still loves you. It's funny, isn't it? You were always so afraid that I'd stop, and now that you want me to, I can't.
I'm sorry.
Do you love him?
I don't want you to be alone.
You know, I just can't believe that all the things you used to say to me meant so little. They could just disappear overnight.
I meant them. I did. But things have changed, and you know why? You know, there's a girl who cares for you very much, and you know who she is.
What does that have to do with anything?
Because if you gave her even half of what you've given me, it would make her very happy, and she'd be good to you. And she'd be right for you. I'm not.
Cruz,
Yeah, hi.
I didn't think you were going out tonight. Have you had dinner? I'm waiting for a client, but it won't take very long.
Cynthia, I'm sorry, but I just can't.
It's all right.
Yeah.
Cruz, don't let her hurt you any more than she already has.
IWZAFDKKMKK. Kirk? IWZ. I was.
I was afraid Kirk might know something. But it doesn't seem possible. If he does suspect me, why doesn't he tell Eden and save his precious wife from all her troubles?
Yes, hello, Mark. It's Mr. Cranston. Is my wife still there at the restaurant? Oh, with Inspector Castillo. No, that's all right. Don't bother her. And please, don't even mention that I called. Thank you. I'll tell you. I will. But not now. Not while I know you'll go back to him.
Yeah, Dr. McCree, I got it. Yeah. You know, I remember that you, I'm amazed that you remember. Huh? Well, I just sort of thought, well, since I'm living in Santa Barbara now, I'd send him a Christmas card or something over the holidays. Yeah. All right. Well, I love you too, Mom. I'll see you on Wednesday, huh? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll tell her. Okay, bye-bye. She sends you her love.
Dr. McRae?
No, my mother. You know, she didn't react at all.
Yeah?
You know, sending the guy a Christmas card is a pretty lame excuse. She wasn't even suspicious. She just said to tell him hello.
Well, if you had been adopted and if she didn't want you to know, would she have told you the doctor's name just like that?
No way. Unless she doesn't even know herself.
Well, that is very crazy. You know, there used to be a Dr. McRae in the neighborhood about 2 blocks from here. Older man in his 70s. I don't know what kind of doctor he was, but Joe used to deliver his paper.
McCree, I got it. I don't believe it. He's right in our backyard.
Honey, don't.
Honey, please,
Wait.
he's a neighbor of yours. He can help
I'm
us.
sorry. That Dr. McRae died this summer. My mother said she went to the funeral.
You got into a fight?
Oh, sort of a fight. I think women like Mary prefer insecure men. They're less threatening.
Oh, I'm glad I missed it.
Forget them. We'll have dinner here instead. It's much safer.
Safer for whom?
Well, for you, of course. I'll be your bodyguard until we hire one for you.
Who's gonna guard me from my bodyguard?
Well, if it isn't the ever-watchful eye of Mother Capwell.
Good evening.
Where are you going, Gina? Back to Paris to spruce up your wardrobe?
What do you care?
I withdraw the question. Gina, this is Janice Harrison. Janice Gina Capwell, my father's wife.
And your stepmother. And so much more.
It's nice to meet you.
You must be one of Ginger's girls.
Who's Ginger?
Janice is a famous model. Mind your manners, Gina.
What happened to Mary? Oh, that's right. She wouldn't sleep with you. That was a first, wasn't it, Mason?
Don't let us keep you. Gina?
No, it's all right. I'm in no rush. Janice, tell me something. That is, if you're not too famous to ask. Have you ever slept with a lying, scheming blackmailer before?
That's enough. Gina.
Sure, all the time. Why?
Well, I think that Mason, in or out of the sack, will be a wonderful experience for you.
What is the matter with you?
Keep your mouth shut or I'll shut it for you.
Mason, I don't think that this is the time for
No,
me to-
really, stay. I'm leaving. You'll have the whole house to yourself. Normally, my son would be here, Brandon. But Mason seen to that. He took him away from me. Oh, and Janice says one more thing. If there's anything you love, don't tell Mason. He'll take it from you, just for spite. Of course, CC is at home. That's my husband. But he won't bother you much. He's in a coma. It happened after the stroke when Mason told him that the woman he loved was a slut and that his son was homosexual. Of course, finding out that his wife and his son were sleeping together, well, that didn't help much either.
Don't listen to her, Janice.
You
That's right. How does that grab you?
pity Mason.
Well, pity me. I'm the one he used. I'm the one he manipulated. He threatened me that if I didn't sleep with him, he used me as a pawn against a father he hated. Everyone Mason's supposed to love, he destroys.
Janice? Vicious,
Don't
lying...
you get near me. I'll kill you first.
I almost think you would.
You bet I would. My only mistake was falling in love with you. You had to ruin everything. I could have made you happy, Mason. First, you ruined my marriage with CC. Then you take Brandon away from me. And then you cast me aside for some woman who hates your guts. I hope you live the rest of your life miserable and alone. And I hope you die that way.
Here's a little something for the family.
You shouldn't have.
Oh, it's Christmas. And your mother was so kind to call and send a card when Charles died. I haven't really thanked her yet. And you must be Mr. Wallace.
Yes, ma'am. Good to meet you.
Amy tells me that my husband brought you into the world.
Yes, ma'am.
I have the proof right here.
What?
Will you look at the size of him now?
Mrs. McCrae, what I'd like to ask you is...
Mrs. McRae, won't you sit down, please?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Thank you, dear.
Mrs. McCrae, the reason I had Amy call you over tonight is because I really need your help.
Oh?
Now, I'm sure your husband kept medical records of the children that he delivered in the families, and I'd just like to know if you, if you still kept them.
Oh, absolutely. I've been wondering whatever to do with them.
So you still have them?
Yes, I do. Why do you ask, Mr. Wallace?
Well, to make a long story short, a few months ago I found out that the man I always believed was my father could not biologically have been my father at all.
Really?
And I guess I love my mother a little bit too much to confront her or accuse her.
Of course.
In fact, I do find it hard to believe, but I guess there was another man involved, or I was adopted. And there's something else that's beginning to occur to me, and it's just important for me to know.
We've tried to locate his records at the hospital, but they weren't any help.
Yeah, and I was just wondering if your husband kept any files at all.
As I was saying, I brought the proof with me.
Oh, good.
When I hung up the phone with Amy, I went looking for your folder. I thought to bring it along to show you. I didn't know you were interested. I thought it just might amuse you. Here, Barnaby Wallace. Take it. Oh, if some good can come from those dusty old files, I'd be glad. So would Charles.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Here I am, born 7:45 a.m.
Oh, weighed 9 pounds, 8 ounces.
Oh, my, a whopper.
Name of father, Glenn Wallace. Statistics, address of mother, assisting nurse, Mrs. Matilda Cordell.
Did you find what you're looking for?
I'm afraid not.
But thank you anyway.
Mrs. McCrae, did your husband or the hospital ever take photographs of the newborns for maybe identification purposes or whatever?
Well, there was a photographer who came around to the nursery sometimes. The hospital hired him, I think. Why?
I'm taking the car, the jewelry, and my checkbook, of course. But that's all. Oh, and my clothes and the credit cards. But they'll cancel those sooner or later. By that time, Brandon and I will be long gone. That's right. This is goodbye, Cece. Well, if anything could make you stand up and shout, I would think this news would. Aren't you happy? I mean, after all, you've won. You've driven me out of the house without even lifting a finger. Guess you never thought it would be that easy. Not that I really want you to die. I hope you rise up out of this bed and make everybody miserable like you used to. Especially Mason. I hope you take that company away from Eden and Kirk, and you kick Sophia out on the street. And then when you're here in this big house all alone, I hope you remember there was a woman who loved you, who would have made you happy, if only you'd let her. Good night, Cece. Goodbye. Sweet dreams.
You waiting for me?
I need to ask you something.
Cruz.
It's nothing personal. There were things I couldn't ask you while I was still in the case.
Because you're afraid of what the answers might be.
Look, that night, how much of the time before you actually went back to his place was Kirk with you?
Well, I asked him to drive me home, or I insisted. We went home. I said I wanted to see Daddy, and I asked him to wait downstairs.
So he wasn't in the room with you?
No.
What's the next thing you remember? Not what he told you, but what you remember yourself.
I remember waking up with a plug in my hand and Kirk standing over me, and the alarm sounding.
Uh-huh. So the actual act of disconnecting the power, that could have been somebody else, right? Could have been Kirk, for instance.
It wasn't.
Maybe not, but it wasn't you.
Cruz, I've been trying for a long time to convince myself of that. I can't believe it.
Believe it.
If I were somebody else, and you were completely objective, the conclusion would be obvious. I tried to kill my father.
Eden, nobody is objective. People act on what they know, and what I know in this case is you. It's stronger than any evidence forensics could come up with. You love your father. You couldn't have done it.
You're fooling yourself.
I don't think so. But even if I am, you wouldn't have picked that night. If ever two people had a sense that the world was perfect, it was you and me on that night.
That's gone, Cruz. And the sooner you believe that, the better. And then you come to me and you tell me that you think I'm innocent. Now, I thank you for believing in me, because you're one of the people that you have no reason to. I have to go.
Kirk? He's not here. Nobody's here.
What are you doing?
Take a guess.
I guess it's too much to hope that you're leaving forever.
Bingo. Your wish is granted.
You're moving out.
Now you and your shifty new husband can be king and queen of the hill.
Well, I don't believe it. Well, I don't care why you're going. I'm just glad you're going.
Are you leaving, Gina?
Where did you come from?
I've been here.
For how long?
I don't know. Why?
Did you get through to Australia?
What? Yes, Craddock. Yeah, just now. No problem.
Good.
Well, I guess you can be lady of the house now. Be sure to tell the servants not to make too much noise while they dust. Not while Eden's working.
Let her have a grand moment, Kirk.
Why this sudden decision, Gina?
Because I want to lead a normal life among normal people again.
I guess I should search your suitcases, huh, Gina? But I said I will offer to take them to the car for you.
I don't know what you're being so superior about, Eden. You've treated me like garbage since the day I got here.
That's true. But again, you've acted like garbage.
Me? What about you? Throwing yourself like some cheap streetwalker at your tin-badged boyfriend Cruz every time he came around the house? Wrapping your father around your little finger while putting on a little tea show for Lionel Lockridge? And what about the time you got drunk and terrorized the whole house with that rusty old sword? You may have forgotten about these things, Eden, but I haven't, because I hear you say things and do things in this very room on a daily basis that turn my stomach.
Look, if you're going, then just shut up and go while you still can.
And you, this secretary you married. Well, you're either too blind or too stupid to see what a little tramp your bride was before she said I do. But I guess it doesn't make any difference. Not as long as you get to be almost a Capwell. So how's married life treating you, Kirk? I've seen the separate beds. From what I hear, Eden's quite a toss in the hay, but I guess you haven't had a chance to find out for yourself yet.
Look, maybe it's time Eden found out a few things about you too, Gina.
What?
Yeah, what? Cruz.
Hi. Look, I know it's late, but I...
Cruz, don't let them hurt me or I'll have to have you arrest them.
Kirk, what about Gina?
She's not even in a drug program. I've checked every clinic in town.
Liar.
Well, that doesn't surprise me, Kirk.
Excuse me, what's going on here?
I'm glad you're here, Cruz. I want to go on record about this. In case you're wondering who tried to kill CC. Well, she's right here. Everyone knows Eden did it. I don't care what her stooge says about where she was or wasn't on that evening. Yeah, she got Kirk to lie for her in exchange for marrying him. But you got the raw end of that deal. And Cruz, you should be glad you're rid of her.
You going somewhere, Gina? The investigation's not over, you know?
I'm going to Los Angeles. I've taken a small apartment in Beverly Hills. Unless you have some reason to hold me. I didn't think so. Well, I hope you all have a very Merry Christmas. In hell.
I think I'm going to go upstairs with my father.
Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? Who is it?
Someone you're probably not speaking to.
Hello, Mason.
You're speaking to me.
Come on in.
I'm sorry. What are you sorry about?
Well, what are you sorry about?
Everything that Gina said. I was afraid that you were upset.
What happens in people's family is nobody else's business. I shouldn't have left.
Thank you for being so understanding.
Or what happens between lovers, for that matter.
That was never the way Gina said.
I judge people by what I see. You've been good to me, Mason.
Mostly, I guess.
If you judge people by what they do without knowing the reasons behind it, a lot of really good people seem terrible.
You wonder, you know that? A lot more to you than meets the eye. That's saying plenty.
I think I'm in kind of an odd mood tonight.
Yeah, I noticed. I was a little worried about you coming back here alone.
Oh, I don't feel especially afraid anymore. Maybe we scared away whoever was lurking around.
You know, maybe.
But I'm glad you're worried, and I'm glad you're here.
So am I.
Maybe it's because Christmas Eve is tomorrow.
Your mood, you mean? I hate Christmas, too.
Oh, I didn't mean that. I love Christmas, even with all the hoopla and the corny decorations.
Will you be going away to spend the day with your family?
I don't have a family.
I thought that you said...
I didn't say that. Listen, Christmas carolers. They're coming down our street and they're going to pass by our building.
Great. You want to throw some eggnog on them?
You really don't like Christmas, do you?
Anyone who goes around with Merry Christmas on his lips should be boiled in his own pudding and buried with a stake of holly through his heart.
Scrooge?
Right. He was a pioneer. The only mistake he made was not telling ghosts to bug off.
Oh, gee, I didn't realize life was so bleak. I was going to try and put you in the Christmas spirit, but I guess we should throw ourselves off the nearest bridge instead, right?
Well, I could wait till morning. You know, I really don't think you should spend the night here alone, Gina.
Neither do I. I'll fix the sofa up for you.
Janice.
You're thinking about Mary, and I'm thinking about a lot of things. Not tonight. Let it be something to look forward to. Okay?
Humbug.
Merry Christmas, Rosa.
Good evening, Gina.
I bet you didn't think it'd be me. Where's Santana?
She had a meeting with a client this evening.
Oh, goodness, she's doing quite well, isn't she?
What can I do for you, Gina?
Well, I know you'll probably say I'm spoiling Brandon, but I have a whole heap of Christmas presents for him, and I thought maybe he could come down and help me get them out of the car.
Gina, it is after 10. Brandon's asleep.
Where's my mind? I've been shopping all evening. I guess I lost track of time. Well, we could wake him up just this once. We wouldn't even have to tell Santana.
I'll help you carry things
No,
up.
Rosa, you see, I have to admit, the whole joy of giving Brandon these gifts is seeing his face light up when he sees them.
Then why don't you come back tomorrow?
I can't come back tomorrow. I get to spend so little time with him.
You are not coming in here, Mrs. Capwell.
You are not going to be working in my home anymore. You're fired, Rosa.
You don't have the power to fire me.
I only wanted to kiss my little boy goodnight.
Come back in the morning and kiss him as much as you like. Yes. I'd like to speak to Santana Andrade. Will you page her for me, please? She's in the restaurant. Thank you. She already left. Thank you.
Well, she's got to go to sleep sometime. Good, there's Santana. I know how to get around her.
I wish you would have let one of us drive you.
Nonsense. It's only 2 blocks. Charles and I used to walk 2 miles every day.
Did you find the pictures?
Oh, yes. Dozens. Hundreds of them. All of his children.
You didn't happen to find one of me, did you?
No, I really didn't. I just didn't have the heart to look through them.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, well, let's see. Yeah, I guess they're grouped by year. Here's the name and date.
Here's 1959.
Oh, good.
Okay.
Give me half that.
Yeah. Okay.
There I am. No, little mistake there.
Oh, no.
He could have told them all apart.
Here you go.
Got me?
Look, you're adorable.
Hey, that's me?
Well, it's got your name on the back. Honey, why did you want to look at the picture?
I don't know. I thought it might tell me something. I don't know what.
Mrs. McRae, I'm very sorry. I'm very rude. Can I get you something? I'd love it if you'd stay and visit with us for a while.
Oh, thank you. Well, maybe a thimbleful of something.
Okay.
It strikes me this may be a special occasion.
I'll be right back. See what I can come up with.
Come on, Cruz. Answer the phone. Oh.
Merry Christmas.
Hello, Gina. Mama told me you came by while I was out.
Yes, well, I'm afraid we had a little misunderstanding. I lost my temper. I came back to apologize. Is Rosa here?
No, you missed her.
Look, all I really wanted was...
She told me what you wanted.
Just wanted to kiss Brandon goodnight. Just to see him. I miss him so much.
I'm sorry, but he was very tired today. He had a very big day, and I don't want to take the chance of you waking him up.
I know. Of course, I understand. How's he doing in school? Could I just come in for a minute and get caught up?
Gina, normally it would be fine, but it's very late and I'm very tired, okay?
Look, I understand. Oh, by the way, did you hear the good news about Cruz and Eden?
What news?
They're getting back together again. Haven't you heard?
You must be mistaken. I saw Cruz this evening. After all, Eden is married now.
Well, apparently, Kirk and Eden are going to get their marriage annulled. After all, it was never consummated.
Come in. I was just making tea for myself. Would you like some?
Thank you.
Where did you hear this news?
Not a very reliable source, I must say. Mason told me.
Oh, well, in that case, it's not true. Cream and sugar?
A little honey, if you have it.
Oh.
Well, it certainly seemed true from what I saw at the house tonight.
Well, what did you see?
Well, they were together, I mean, just like old times, being very romantic, kissing each other. They were all over each other. As a matter of fact... Santana? Hello, yes. There's been an accident. Yes, could you please send an ambulance to Oak Hill Apartments on Crocker Street? Yes, that's right. It's apartment 22. As soon as possible. Thank you. Brandon? Brandon, sweetheart, wake up. It's me, Mommy.
Mommy?
Yeah, we're gonna take a little drive, just you and me. You don't need anything, you don't need any clothes, just get your slippers. And I'll go get your coat. All right, sweetheart?
What time is it? I don't want to go for a drive.
Oh, yes, you do. It'll be all right. I've got a good surprise for you. Santana said that we can spend Christmas together. Just you and me. That'd be fun. Here we go.
Mason! Mason Capwell.
Janice?
Mason Capwell.
Who are you?
I am the ghost of your murdered brother,
Channing?
Channing Capwell Jr.
Go away, whoever you are.
I come not to harm, but to warn you.
I don't believe you. Go back to where you came from.
Hell is where I came from. I bring hell with me.
Listen, there's a woman asleep in there. And if you harm her...
She cannot hear us. What I have to say is for your ears alone. I am the ghost of your brother, Channing Capwell Jr.
You're not even a Capwell, haven't you heard?
Silence!
All right, I'm sorry. Just stop shaking those things.
These chains are the chains of my sins. With every evil deed I did in life, I forged them link by link. And now I wander the seas and skies, sentenced to carry the weight of my sins throughout eternity. You, Mason, are a selfish, pitiless man, much as I was while I was alive.
Wait a minute, I'm not on that. I'm sorry. What?
You too labor under the burden of your sins. If you do not change, and change quickly.
Well, I will. I promise.
Your promise means nothing, as everyone who ever trusted you will tell. But you are being given one more chance. Tomorrow, Christmas Eve, the holiest night of the year, you will be visited by 3 more ghosts.
No. Channing, I can't...
Listen to me! Unless you learn the lessons these 3 spirits have to teach, you too will be sentenced in the next life to be forever enchained, as I am. Listen well. Listen well. And learn.
She tricked her way in here. And then... Oh, Brandon. Brandon! Oh! She stole my baby. Oh. Cruz.
No, of course not. Yeah. Bye.
Thank you for letting me use the phone.
You're welcome. Even though I think you're stalling in the hope that Eden will come downstairs. Is there anything else you'd like?
No.
Well, since Eden clearly doesn't want to see you, and you and I have never really had that much to talk about, perhaps you'd like to leave.
Yeah.
Or, maybe you'd like to tell me why you came here in the first place.
All right. You see, I was going to tell her, in fact, I was going to tell both of you, I guess, that I found out who's taken over the investigation and how it's going to be handled.
Why should that concern us?
I thought it might.
You were wrong. Is that all?
You know, Kirk, I don't like you. And I think you know a whole lot more about all this than you're letting on. But there are some things you have done for Eden that I cannot fault.
A compliment from you is no compliment to me.
My point is, we both want the same thing.
Eden?
For her to be safe.
Will you leave that to me, Cruz? That's my place now.
Uh-huh. Enjoy while you can, pal.
Cruz leave?
Yes. Are you all right now?
Yeah. Do you think Gina's gonna be back?
After a performance like that, just let her try.
What did Cruz want?
Well, probably just to continue whatever conversation the two of you were having when I left the restaurant. Or didn't you talk to him?
Yeah, we talked.
About what?
Things, nothing.
Was he charming?
Kirk.
Well, what did he want? He must have wanted something, or did the two of you just talk about your past together,
we
or
talked
what?
about my father. What's the matter with you?
I'm sorry. I guess Gina just kind of got to me. I'm not jealous of you, Eden. You know that. What about your father?
I told you, Cruz doesn't believe that I was the one who tried to kill my father.
Neither do I.
You don't?
I don't want to. You know something? I think I've been a little too hard on Cruz lately. He means well. He does seem to have your best interest in mind. Do you know if he has any proof to back him up?
If he does, he would have told me, I would think.
Eden, listen to me. I'm not going to let anything happen to you right now. If there is evidence out there, somewhere, and I am starting to believe that there really is, I am going to find it and clear your name if it's the last thing that I do.
Thank you.
I'll tell you, I will, but not now. Not while I know you'll go back to him.